Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over one of the most asked questions that I've gotten, and that is, what GoPro setup do I run? And this GoPro setup, in my opinion, is the best one, whether you ride motocross, GNCCs, enduros, just pretty much dirt bikes. And so today we're going to be going over that, and this is what it looks like if you guys haven't seen any of my other videos, but you guys should just go check out some other videos. Let's get to it. So in this video I'm going to talk about the mount that I run, why I run it, and then kind of the other mounts and why I don't think they're as good, and then also kind of the settings I run and going over just a few other things. So we're going to get right into it. So the goal of my GoPro videos for me is to get a little bit of that body movement. There goes my helmet. So the goal for me and my GoPro videos is getting that body movement with the trail up ahead. So getting a little bit of that handlebars, but also still being able to see where you're going and what's coming up. And I think that's kind of the advantage to the GoPro mount that I run versus the other ones. And so we're going to talk about the other ones first and kind of tell you guys what the advantages are of them and then also the disadvantages. So starting off with the chest mount, and this is great if you guys want just the body movement, and if you want to see how much your body's moving and how's the bike moving, stuff like that, but you're not going to see really any up ahead on the trail. And if you stand up or sit down, it gives you a different angle because your chest is angled differently. So that's kind of why I don't like that one as much. And then on top of the helmet, it can be great for showing up ahead on the trail and showing kind of what's ahead and maybe people in front of you. But then again, it's not going to show your body movement. So it's kind of the opposite of the chest mount. And it'll show great views up ahead, but it won't show the bars really too much. And then if you angle it down, it's just going to show your visor, and you're still not going to be able to see the bars. One other disadvantage to having the GoPro on top is if you're riding in the woods and it may be fresh cut trail or going through a good line, you may just get it whacked off, and then boom, there goes your GoPro. No more GoPro, and you just lost all that footage. So that's kind of another one that kind of scares me a little bit. So that's another reason why I run this mount that I run. So that is why I choose the chin mount here. Boom, there it is. Alright, in the video there. No, but the chin mount, it's kind of the best of both worlds. You can see up ahead on the trail and then also some of that body movement. So like I was saying, the goal is to get both. I think really the key with it is to get the GoPro as low as you can, but still on your head, because then you're moving where you're looking and you're gonna see what you're looking at. So with it being lower, you can see the body movement, but then with it still being on your head, you can see where you're actually looking. So all I do for this GoPro mount here is use a regular old GoPro flat mount. I heat the flat mount up first and stick it on the chin piece, and then after that I use some epoxy glue and pretty much just make the surface area bigger on the chin mount, so that way it has something to stick to and it's all stuck around. I glue the actual mouth guard itself on the helmet, so that way it can't pop off, and then because that's what the GoPro is mounted to. So if that pops off, the GoPro comes off, and obviously that wouldn't be good. So glue that on, glue the flat mount on, and then you're pretty much good to go. Now if you guys don't want to do what I did here and glue something to your helmet, that's totally understandable, and some helmets I think it's quite a bit harder to do. I got lucky with the bells, they work out pretty well. There's a couple different options. The Dango mount, which is pretty much a clamp that you can clamp onto your helmet, and I've heard it works actually pretty well. So that can be an option, and then you can take it off, clamp it on your buddy's helmet and get some quick footage of them, and you don't really have to do anything. And then also the SoPro, which is pretty much like a strap that goes on your helmet, which it'll pretty much look the same as this. It'll just have little straps that go around it to hold it on. And then also the ProShot, which is a little bit more complex, I think, to me looking at it. But it pretty much comes out and then like hooks over to the helmet on the sides. So I'll link up to all these down below, and you guys can check them out. If you guys do end up buying them, that'd be awesome. I get a little bit of a kickback on that from Amazon, so I appreciate you guys doing that. Those are the ones that I've found that I think are pretty good, so you guys can check those out for sure. I also use a couple different things with my GoPro. One to help the audio, and that is pretty much this foam windscreen, and it goes around the GoPro. Pretty much just protects the wind, dampens the wind noise, so you're not having all that wind rushing around the GoPro, and really just makes it a little bit quieter, so that way you can hear more of the bike, less of the wind, and just more stuff you want to hear and less of the. And then we also have the lens protector and screen protector on the back, and these are super cheap. I'll link to all this stuff, like I said, down below on Amazon, and all you do is pretty much just stick a screen cover on. It's just like a screen protector on your phone. Stick that lens cover on, stick the screen cover on, and then you have pretty much an extra layer of protection. And then when you do crack it, you can just rip it off, put a new one on, and it's a lot cheaper than buying a brand new lens for it. And then on the Hero 8s, you can't even replace the lens, so I would definitely recommend it for those, and for sure all the other ones, because it's a lot cheaper than replacing the full lens. Just a little bit of added protection to them, and definitely worth it in my opinion. As far as my setting goes, it's pretty simple. I just run 1080p at 30 frames per second, and also the Super View. And I've noticed with the 1080p, it's enough to get what you want to see, and you're not going to tell too big of a difference between the 2.7 and 1080, but if you guys are just filming little bits and pieces, I'd recommend the 2.7. But if you're filming like 2-hour races, or something where you have to film for a long period of time, I'd recommend the 1080. So it's just a little bit of battery saving, and you can get a little bit more out of your GoPro if you use that. And then the 30 frames per second, you want to be able to see, you're moving fast, so you want those extra frames versus the 24. But I don't think you really need the 60 or anything above that 30. It's just going to wear down your battery and your SD card a little bit faster. So that's kind of what I recommend there. And then the Super View, it's able to show everything. You can get a wider range of view. And also, I think when you're riding through the trees or riding on a track, it just kind of shows like that blur by you that you kind of get while you're actually riding. And it shows a little bit more of an actual perspective, in my opinion, versus the other views of the GoPro. That's what I run as far as the settings. And then I've got one last tip for you guys, and that is some battery saving tips. And to do that, you guys can turn off your Bluetooth connection. Now, if you guys are on the trail and you lose your GoPro, that Bluetooth connection can be a little bit helpful, because you can walk around the trail and see where your GoPro connects and find your GoPro. But if you guys are trying to film that extra bit of time, turn off your Bluetooth, and that'll save some battery. And then also turning down your screen brightness. And I have mine down all the way on the lowest setting. I think it's 10%. And that's because I don't really look at the screen. I just turn the GoPro on, turn it off, film what I want. I know the settings are already what I want. And if I do, I usually just hold my hand over it if it's a sunny day and I can still see it. So that's kind of the battery saving tips I've got for you guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, got something out of it. Hopefully you guys got some good GoPro footage now, and you guys can make sweet videos. So that's all I got for you guys. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it or got something out of it, and consider subscribing. We got dirt bike content coming out all the time. So we'll see you guys in the next video. We're headed to Alabama for the National Enduro this weekend, and we'll see y'all there. In the meantime, peace out. Wait. One more thing. Let me know what other videos you guys want me to film, because the more videos, the better, right? So, let me know, guys, down in the comments. Drop a comment. Also, your other GoPro tips, drop them down below. See you guys later.